Well, good morning, everybody. And you gotta stop and think and take it. Just take it all in, just the little things. Just like I just showed you right here. Open up this gate this morning would not have even been possible. This whole place back here, on the other side of the fence here, so overgrown with brush and briars and everything. So I spent the better part of this morning just in chainsaw paradise, just going through and just tearing everything up. So yeah, I finally can close this gate again, which is kind of cool. So that's step one. There you go. Couldn't do that this morning. All right, so what am I doing? Where am I at? Well, I showed you one episode way back a couple months ago about the Hillside Farm. And well, here you go. This is step one of my little project here. Is first thing first, I need to clear these fence lines off. And, able to get that gate shut. That's one thing. I don't have any livestock or anything in here right now, or have any plans to anytime soon. So getting the gate closed really is not something that's imperative, but it's just, I think, a first step. I got the gate can close, I can freely walk in this way, even though there's another opening over here that's much more accessible and not overgrown. But yeah, if you look at these fence line here, I've been kind of clearing stuff out from the bottom, but as you see, these fence lines are just covered in brush. I was thinking, man, I wish I had about a dozen goats or something come through this stuff, because this is all kinds of just briars and sharp things. I mean, if you don't know what briars are, there you go. That's my Gatorade bottle. Don't focus on that. But yeah, right here, see these spikes all over this thing? Yeah. So you need to wear long sleeves, long jeans, and heavy duty boots when you walk around this stuff, because it is absolutely going to tear your legs and arms up. But yeah, I mean, first things first, check out these fence lines. They got trees growing through them. They got brush and briars, like I said, all down here. But what I do want to show you is, we walk over here along the fence line. This was an old hay field, you can tell right there. Yeah, it's not coming up, but right here, right there is a line where they took hay from this side. So from here that way is just weeds and briars and brush and everything. So whenever they stopped having cattle on this farm, they they didn't really care about the fence line so much anymore. So they kind of got in disrepair, and just like this right here, this is the kind of stuff that gives you a bad day. All these spiky briars right here growing through the fence. No way to do it but just to cut it off at the base and try to drag it out without getting yourself hurt. But yeah, case in point, like right here, in this fence post, focus on it. This needs to be reattached to the fence post there, and it's like that all the way down. There's been another spot right here that needs to be fixed as well, where there's a stick off of there. But yeah, see, that needs to be put back up on there. But really, until you get all this brush cleared out, it's really not such a big deal. But right here in this corner, I think what I'm going to start doing is clear this off, and this is going to be the site of my first Hillside Farm pepper patch, maybe. So similar to what I did at my grandfather's house last year, just kind of a semi Darwin kind of garden. Just put these peppers and see what happens. But I'll take better care of these, because this gets a lot more sun in this corner than it did in the woods experiment. But yeah, I'm going to take this old hay field, and for the time being, they're still going to be pulling hay out of it for a little while till I get some more stuff, develop whatnot. But right here, you probably can't tell, but anyhow, this section right here is not, they don't take hay from this hole, from about here all the way to the corner post, all along the fence line here and back. So this is a good 40 by 40 section right there if I really wanted to, which they can still do the hay operation, and then still I can start developing the peppers over here. And I had thought about putting in some blackberries and possibly some blueberries, but that's another time, another project. But we'll get into that eventually. But yeah, this corner, just looking at it, kind of gives me a nightmare, because those are all briars, and you can just see the fence post here in the corner, and it's covered in more spiky, sharp things. That's just going to be so much fun to take care of. Yeah. So anyhow, just a little update on that. But yeah, I've been dragging brush all day long. I've been, chainsawing everything possible. And yeah, but anyhow, my mom's house, you probably can't see it. It's just where her farmhouse is back in the distance with the hay barn and everything. But you got to try to take what happens and make the best of it. And they had a big pine tree. This huge windstorm just knocked down a big pine tree in the front yard over there. And I got to thinking, I went to this, reading this lecture on blueberries. And of course they like an acidic soil. So they always say to, use pine bark mulch for blueberries to help, keep the soil acidified. So I was thinking to myself, I wanted to put some blueberries in, and what better way than I need to find a chipper or somehow to get all those pine and all those pine branches chipped up, and I could use that as a mulch, help get the soil acidic, and start a blueberry patch out here, because this would be a perfect climate. There's plenty of water. It's not too hot, not too cold. This area here gets full sun. But yeah, if you just take it all in, like I said, this right now is just an existing hayfield. In the past, it had cows on it, but if you look all along that tree line there, that thick brush all the way down, goes all the way around over here. Yeah. So there's the gate, if you can see it right there where I got to. But yeah, there's a lot of work to be done, a lot of digging, a lot of cutting, and a lot of dragging. So I'll have to get a nice brush pile developed and probably burn it up, and might use that to try to make some biochar. At least get some wood ash, kind of get some fertilizer, add some nutrients back to the compost or soil in that way, in that respect. But yeah, I just want to ask you guys a little question here. So if you guys have followed me along and know that I'm big into peppers and growing peppers and all that kind of stuff, but now they got all this space right here, which is officially going to be mine. This is about 3.5 acres. It goes up to the road, so there's about 1.75 acres of this hayfield. Then there's another acre across the creek there. It's just naturally just wooded, and then a little bit beyond the fence line here, there's obviously a creek down below there as well. So the property goes out to the creek as the natural boundary, which is another probably 50 feet, probably past the fence line there. But anyways, long story short, if this were you, what would you use this property for? Would you graze it? Would you get some cattle? I've also bounced around the idea of small scale, just getting a couple of pigs and raising them out, get some structures and fences kind of put for that, like a little paddock, raise some fresh pork from home. Yeah, but maybe not just yet on that, because that's going to take a little bit more infrastructure to be developed. And also have access, this field here is also not mine, but belongs to my mom, and she's let me say that she'll let me use this whatever I need to if I want to graze animals here or whatever, as long as I don't tear it up. So I can't really plant anything over there, but the grass is mine if I need to feed something, for lack of a better word. So yeah, back to my original question. If this were your property, what would you do with it? Give me some ideas. Tell me what you would do, and we'll talk about it. But yeah, so right now I'm thinking definitely gonna put in a pepper patch, because that's just what I do, and think about maybe a little blueberry patch as well, but before I do that, I'd have to get bird netting and fencing, and I would not just feed the deer. I'd trust me, the deer are everywhere. There's plenty of deer trails and deer tracks in this field as it is, so you got to know what you're getting into with that. So before you turn the first shovel full of soil over here, you need to make sure you have some fences and stuff in, plan ahead and have those things kind of develop before you waste your time and money just feeding the deer. But anyhow, I ask it again, and I'll stop rambling. What would you do with this property? Besides clear the fence lines and stuff like that, and just a word of thought, am I being too overly critical about that? Do you guys have fence lines out there? Like, how well do you maintain yours? Are you super energetic about keeping every little blade of grass off of them? If you saw your fence line looking like this, would it give you an absolute panic attack? Because I don't know if it's just me, but this kind of stuff here drives me crazy. So I need to, that's just gonna have to go. That's just not gonna do it for me. Yeah, so that's gotta be taken out. But the reason why they didn't clear it out is because these are just full of spikes and briars and brush and just nasty thorns. So you can't blame them for not wanting to take care of it. But I figure if I do it once and keep managed, it'll it'll keep itself under control eventually. Just the initial stage is what's going to be the hardest part. So anyways, guys, this is the Hillside Gardener from the Hillside Farm. Hope you guys have a pleasant afternoon, morning, or evening whenever you're watching this. If you haven't already, please subscribe and follow along this little hillside journey of mine as we start to take this old hayfield and try to develop it into something else. So I'll let you guys go with that, and you guys have a pleasant evening. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.